What's up there, fellas? How you doing? Hola, ¿cómo está? Charlie, how far? How you did? How you did? Well, welcome to Famous Football. I'm your host, Nate. Let's talk football. Well, let's get into it. Chelsea review. Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. 0-0. Before we get into the details, let's get into the lineup. Well, if you've watched my previous video, I talked about what I think was our strongest lineup, right? And I had Tosin in there, but Tosin, it came out yesterday that Tosin was injured, so Acheampong filled in the gap for Tosin. So it's pretty much the same that I had in my previous video when I was discussing varieties of lineup that Chelsea can use in the upcoming season. And so the lineup was pretty much Cucurella. Today it was Cucurella, Acheampong, but in mine I had Tosin because when I did the video, the news of him being injured was not out yet. So Acheampong filled in the gap for him today. We had Chalobah, obviously Sanchez in goal, and then we had James, and then Caicedo, Enzo, Palmer, Gittens, Neto, and Pedro Neto, right? I said Pedro Neto, I said João Pedro up front, right? Pedro Neto, João Pedro, yeah, it's going to be a long one for me. But in terms of individual performance, right, I think Gittens for me was the only person that seemed a little flat, right? Now we'll come to the entire team performing, but from an individual standpoint, standout performance for me was Acheampong, right? He's the youngest on the team, and he was able to hold his own against someone like Mateta in a physical battle. He was able to hold his own. Now he made a couple mistakes here and they give the ball out, but you know he's young, he's still developing, right? So we can't really blame him for much of the things that happened. But in terms of his performance today against Crystal Palace, he was solid, right? The tackle, the physical battle, he was there. The progressive passes he made, taking up those spaces from playing in that middle, progressing with the ball. He was also good at that, and we know he's pretty good at doing those kind of things. He even mentioned that in his interview after the game when he talked about, oh, that's the academy style of play. That's kind of the one of the thing we learned from the academy. He tried to bring that into the first team, so which is good. He was brilliant in that regard. Cucurella, was also okay. Rich James, Shift Caicedo was Caicedo as well. Palmer in the first half was involved a little bit, and the way Crystal Palace set up, we'll come to that, hinder him a little bit. In the Neto, we had João Pedro wasn't really involved today as well. Like for him, I think he's not like an out-and-out striker. So I don't want Chelsea treating him like that. Like if you give him that freedom to be able to get involved into the play. So John, as a big part of the build-up. I know you have people like Palmer and Enzo and Caicedo and all these players, but like with him, if you're gonna get something more from him, if you're gonna get more from a player like João Pedro, you need him involved in the play. Like he doesn't need to wait for the ball. He's not a Delap. Delap can do that, and Delap will still feel, he won't feel isolated out of the game. You can do that with Delap, but you need him involved in the play. They hear him come back, allow him to come back, join the build-up, what's it called? All of these things, it gets him involved. Like the more touches he have on the ball, in that regard, he and Palmer are almost the same, because Palmer need to be on the ball as often as possible for him to come alive and find his rhythm in the game. Like if you just keep him out of it, and we'll come to his performance in the second half, right? But yeah, that was pretty much the whole the lineup. But then let's talk about Crystal Palace a little bit. The way they set up was good, right? The way Crystal Palace set up, even from a high press standpoint, it was good. Their pressing was good. They didn't allow, they were very physical as well. So the physical battle was there, and then they were pressing high as well, and they were pressing collectively, right? That's another thing. So in terms of Chelsea finding that pocket that we usually do, like break that, breaking line passes, Chelsea didn't have a lot of that. So because of that, that's why I mentioned Palmer. So Palmer was a little bit isolated in the game, and that was the reason. Because if you watch my videos and stuff like that, you understand that when I talk about Palmer, I talk about how he loves to be in those little pocket, right? But today, the way Crystal Palace set up, they kind of closed that gap. So there wasn't Chelsea play through the middle. Most of their ball had to go out wide. So there wasn't a lot of that through the middle. So now it would have been beneficial if Palmer had go out wide. right? Then maybe it will kind of alleviate the tension that is in the middle, because I think Crystal Palace came with the notion that we love to play those through ball between the line passes to Palmer, and there where Palmer can be dangerous. So they try to close that gap. So if we have found another way within the game to get maybe Palmer involved, so maybe him going out that we can get the ball to him or something like that, I think it would have been beneficial. But the way they press and the way they collectively, when they don't have, if they don't do a high press, they drop back and sit collectively. So it's like it made things difficult for Chelsea, right? And then that way I feel like we struggled out. Last season was the same thing. Was the same reason why we struggled in the Premier League, because it seemed that we became predictable. Our style of play became predictable. Somebody invert, and then we won the ball, we possess the ball, we dominate the midfield. So now the opposition team just sit in a very decent shape that makes it difficult for us to break through. So now all we do is just take the ball from one end to the other end. It's like almost like a pendulum. We're just swinging back and forth, right? So it's like the ball moved from this end to the other end. That's exactly what Chelsea was doing, nothing more. And that was what happening today. So we look flat, and we also see similar, like I talked about last season, and we also see the same thing even in the Conference League final. So if Palmer didn't really take that game into hand, Chelsea possibly would have lost, because the way Betis set up, we were just moving back and forth, right, with the ball. And today was the exact same thing. So now you have people that when they sit in low block, it becomes difficult for all. So now I think Maresca should be able to find like varieties of ways that when these things happen, because listen, I can promise you this is not going to be the first and the last time that Chelsea encountered this particular situation this season. So now it would be good if Maresca can find multiple ways wherein we can be able to break lines, we can be able to find a goal, we can be able to do something when this situation happens. Because today it was exactly the same. And I talk about Gittens, like we like today the game, like Palace tried to close the middle, that we couldn't play those break line passes. We needed the wingers, and for me, Gittens went a little bit quiet. Again, it's his first game in the Premier League, so it's like I understand, like he's adapted. Estevao came on, he looked a little bit alive, right? He came on, he looked a little bit alive, he was taking the game, but again, even with that, like still Palace didn't really allow him to do much. Because once something, I saw him got the ball, there's two people going towards him. There's already a defender that he's facing, and then another person coming from behind. So oftentimes, the moment he get the ball, he just turn around and play a pass backward, and then they try to go find the other way, right? So there was a little bit this and that. So in the first half, we gave the ball out a little bit too easily, especially within the first 15 to 20 minutes. Right around the 20 minutes, around the 20th minute, there where we pick it up. But from below that, we look all over the place, disorganized, right? We give the ball out easily. Not our recovery. That's one thing I applaud in today's game, right? Not just today's game, but throughout the time I've been watching Chelsea play. When we lose the ball, we all, everybody is after it. We want it back. Caicedo, Enzo, Neto, every single one of them after it when we want it back. We saw Estevao today with the tackle that he made, and he got a yellow card, right? Some may argue he should have gotten a red, but you see, that's what I'm after. That's what I mean. When we lose the ball, every single Chelsea player are after it, right? So that's one positive I can take from out of the game. But with that, we gain possession, but again, it's not. What's the purpose of the possession, man? I know you get to control the game, but in these instances, it's more like Crystal Palace is controlling the game than Chelsea is controlling the game, because they allow you have the ball, they sit deep, and then they catch you on a counter. Whenever Crystal Palace had the ball, they look more dangerous as compared to Chelsea having the ball for whatever amount of time they will have it for, right? So they weren't even bothered by Chelsea having the ball, because they know nothing going to happen, and they just stay there and make sure nothing happened. And that was it, right? They were, like I said, they were pretty good today. Crystal Palace was pretty good today. And we need to get used to that, because we're going to be coming against a lot of teams. Not many teams are going to play that we want to, go head to head with us. Now, when we play City, maybe. We play, not even maybe, yes. Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United, maybe Man United. But Spurs, like anyone in the top 6. Or we play them, they will want to go head to head with us, right? But the rest of the team, they're more likely to sit and catch us on the counter, right? And we don't want that. Excuse me, we don't want to be putting ourselves in that position. So Maresca need to organize the thing in a way that it becomes beneficial to us. That's why it's like, you know, like maybe today if we would have said something like Delap and Pedro, Pedro together, right? Maybe that would have been good. I understand Estevao coming on as well, and Palmer. My thing is that if Palmer in the middle is not working, what other way can we get Palmer in the game? Because we know he's one of our most dangerous players, our most creative player possibly on the pitch at the moment. When the middle, him being in the middle is not working, what else can we do? What can our wingers come alive? Can they become more dangerous to kind of alleviate that tension of the middle? Then now they also have other things to focus on. You know, and today again, another thing I didn't really see was that overlapping fullback. Now, Cucurella, I saw a little bit of it from Cucurella. But then when Malo Gusto came in, I expected Malo Gusto to do it, but we didn't see Malo do that, right? I think Cucurella is still doing it. But it's like we need our wingers in this kind of a situation to become deadly, to become, you know, to come alive. Because that's the only way the pressure is going to, you know, be removed from the middle. So now it's like for instance, Crystal Palace won't just gather in the middle and try to close it because they know, okay, we're going to play the ball out and then our winger's going to go at it and something going to happen. But we didn't really get to see a lot of that. But hopefully, you know, the next game we get to see something better than what we have, and hopefully the people that we are linked with, the signings, can come in and then you can get this thing going. But today, you know, it's a draw. Like, I'm not really forced. I won't say I'm not really forced. Like, it's frustrating to watch, right? But I wish, you know, we'd have played better. I wish we'd have started the season on a better foot, considering all of our opposition. Man City getting a 4-0 win, Liverpool winning, Arsenal winning, right? Sorry to Man United. Well, I think Man United, they played good, but I know they were unlucky, I'll say. But you know, all these people winning, Nottingham Forest, it would have been better. It would have been good, and if we ourselves had won as well. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. So now, how can we move on? A draw is better than a loss, but that's not what I want to settle for. I want to settle for a win. So next time, Maresca, get it together. Whatever you need to do, the boys, we trust in the ability of them. We know they can do it. They have the quality. They have everything they need, right? Set them up, you know, tactically well. Let's dominate. Let's win. That's what we want to see. Well, let me know your thoughts down below. Everything. What do you agree? Do you think we were set up right? Do you think a couple other people should have started instead of what the Lionel Maresca went with? Do you think Maresca should do something tactically to kind of switch up the play? And again, not to say anything bad about Maresca, but that was one thing I love about Thomas Tuchel when he was there. Like, in the middle of the game, when it's not the plan that the initial plan with Kimbo, if it's not going well, he's capable of just switching everything, right? Of just switching it, and then we get a result some way, somehow, right? And that's what I'm looking for from Maresca, right? So hopefully he can deliver, right? But again, let me know your thoughts down below about the entire game. What do you think? Who impressed you? Who didn't impress you? What do you think Chelsea can do better, right? Let me know your thoughts. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Much appreciated, guys. See you later. Thank you.